In this video, it's more about aluminum can art, and I've made butterflies, and today we're going to make a bird, specifically a blackbird, out of some Monster drink cans. And before we get started, just a little bit. The way I do these is I set up my camera for the area that I want, which is right here where the little phone holder is, and I'll plug in some power, and then we'll be ready to do that. But then I switch to the other mode. Basically, in the other mode, uh, whenever your camera is showing your work area, I've got my TV up there, and it's actually showing the work area, so I can look up and I can see if everything I'm doing is even visible in the screen, because I have done some things where uh, yeah, I look at the video later, and the butterfly or the bird that I'm cutting on is not even in the picture. So I like to do that. And you start by setting up your TV so that it'll accept a smart view or mirror screen. And once you do that, you just have your TV on, and you take your phone and you drag a couple fingers down on your screen, which is my Android Samsung phone, and it'll say Smart View. So you hit the Smart View button, and it'll say, do you want to connect to your TV? And you hit on the TV, and there you go. So that's how you get set up to start your project. So now we'll get busy on the red-winged blackbird. Okay, we'll get started on red-winged blackbird, and I started already with some preliminary work so that it wouldn't take up that much time. So I basically started with a picture of a blackbird, and you get the shape of the bird, and you also can see the wing configuration. And basically I just freehanded the bird on the back of the aluminum sheets that we had. I have a video that shows you how to cut the cans and make these into the flat sheets, how to do that. And I use this to kind of roll them out a little bit flatter, but you put them over like this and roll them that way, and you can flatten them out that way also. So for now, I already cut the wing out. I had it drawn out on a piece, and I cut it out, and it's a similar wing shape to the bird in the book. And then I didn't want to have to cut this out twice, so I cut it out once, but then I had a tab down here where you can fold this over, and then you've already got your pattern for the other half of the bird. So both sides will be black. This is what I've drawn out for the tail, and I'll cut that out after a while when I get this put together and show you how the tail goes on later. So for now, I'll cut these pieces out off camera to save time. Back to the bird. Right now we have all the parts we need. We have the tail, we have the wing, we have the double-sided bird, and I like to hang my bird, so I made this wire so that I can stick in there. And but if you're into butterflies and birds on a refrigerator, what you can do is just cut the bottom of that tab that you made earlier to hold these two together. And when you're all done with your project, fold the tab out both ways. Get some of those, they're sticky stick-on magnets that you can get in a roll, and you just stick on a magnet there, and when you get done you can stick your bird on a refrigerator or any metal cabinet. But I'll probably just cut that tab off because I have a hanger that I'm going to put on mine. And the way I put the hanger on is I start by just bending the wire so that it's got a little loop in there, kind of long, and I stick it down in the wing as far as it'll go, right in the middle, so I know where it's at. Then I stick the wing in between the two pieces of bird. It'd be nice to have a mark on there so you know just about where it's at, but you can kind of feel it. So what I do then is I take a bigger nail. I lay this on a block, and this kind of fuses the two together, and I try to get it in the middle of that wire that's underneath, and so you hit that a couple of times there, and then do it again up here about where you think the other wire is. Hit that a couple of times. Then the reason you're using a nail to do that is it punches through. Then you take a smaller nail and you can stick it in the middle of that hole, wallow out all the way around where the hole is. That bends all of those four tabs to the outside like that. Then what you can do is just lay it on the block, hit it a couple of times, and basically you've riveted your bird together with the wing and your hanger. So next thing you'd do would be put the tail on. And what you do on the tail is you want to bend it down the middle, but the tail kind of goes flat as it goes towards the back. So what I do is I just pinch the front part of the tail like that, and leave the back the way it is for now, and set this on the bird, and then you can lay this on the edge of the block. Get your big nail, put it kind of right in the center. Drive that in. Then you got your natural rivet back here in the back. You hold that together still. Take a smaller nail, bend your tabs over. I know you can't see all this on camera, but right now I've got the tabs bent over. The hammer won't fit kind of in there, so what I do, just turn the nail around, put the head down, and it kind of runs the point a little, but you can resharpen. Tap that, and you got the tail basically on the bird. And then the next step would be, well, The bird has an eye, but see, the thing will kind of still open up, so you don't want that. So what you can do is use the eye position for another rivet. So you guess where the eye is on the bird by looking at the picture, and it's about right there. So tap that a couple times, take the nail out, the smaller nail, open up the little tabs so that they'll flatten out the right way. On this you can use the hammer, so you only need to tap it real lightly once. Then you've got basically you got an eye on your bird. Next step will be folding the wings down. But before we do that, I was going to show you how you could do a magnetic mount if you wanted, and cut the bottom like that, and then fold these tabs. You can fold them flat, and then you can, once you get them flat, take one of those adhesive magnets, stick it on the bottom here. These don't weigh very much, so it doesn't take much to hold them. But that'd be a refrigerator cabinet mount. I'm not doing that. So basically, I'm just gonna cut the tab off. And so the next step would be to bend the wings down, kind of pinch it pretty hard there, because you don't want to pop your rivets out. And bend this down. And when I was making this, I picked a can that had some red on it, and that's going to be for the red wings on your blackbird. So the red's already there. Once you bend that down, now you can take your hanger. You can make the hanger any length, but I make it about 6 inches. Fold over the edge like that to a hook, and that way you can hang it on a light in the middle of your room or different things. Now your bird is basically done, except for some magic marker stuff that you can do. And because there's so much white on here, that doesn't look natural. So I take a black magic marker and basically just color over all the white so that you got a black bird instead of a little thing that you use at Walmart to check your groceries out. That makes it look more authentic. The other side, there was some writing and stuff. I usually like to leave a lot of the writing, and that way it shows a person what you can do with an aluminum can, and they can recognize what they drink. And a lot of them will say, I want that bird because I drink that monster drink. So that would be fun. But color over some of that so that the blackbird will look a little more like a blackbird. And just for fun, I think I'll leave those monster drink. I don't know what you call them, the artwork for monster drinks on there. And what I'm going to do is color around a little more. I'm going to take my scissors and cut the wing tips and stuff. So I'll show you on one of them what I would do. The feathers all radiate out from about this point out, so everything's kind of a sunburst pattern that goes out from there. So I cut a wing about there and there, 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 a little bit there. Then you can trim them a little. Take the corner off, make it look more like a wing. So you trim a little bit of space out so you can see where the wings are individually, and so end up with a wing that looks more like a wing. And for the bottom side, to help that some, I take the magic marker. Being it's just all aluminum, then you can leave it that way, but what I do is I color pretty solid the front part of the wing like that, and maybe pretty solid on the inside part, and then from there you can just kind of grab your marker and just go like that, and gives a little more bird feather look to it. So you don't have to be very artistic to do that. Just scribble some feathers on there, and leave some open spaces, and it'll look pretty good in the end. So do the other wing that way. Now I cut the tail feathers just like I cut there, and I'll probably put some black magic marker underneath on that, and basically it's pretty close to being done. So then you just hang it up, and somebody will buy it, or you can give it to somebody and you can say, boy, that's neat. But don't take all the credit. Give God the credit for making the birds for us to look at, and also give God the credit that He gave us the ability to do stuff with the things He created. But always honor God first. Bye.